So first, a few cosmetic things here. So uh, first of all, this video is not meant to be an attack on anyone. It's not meant to offend anyone. Um, it's not about anyone in particular. For those of you who know me in real life, what I like to talk about on this channel, one of the things I like to talk about on this channel is observing the interactions between Black men and Black women, kind of dealing with some of the traumas and some of the pains that you hear from certain Black men and Black women. Because I think there's value in that. There's value in listening to one another. There's value in it. Even if you don't 100% agree or you don't agree at all with the things that the person is saying, I still believe that there's always value in listening to the next person. So we've heard this narrative pushed for years that Black men are all over YouTube and social media bashing Black women. You hear this so often. And even to this day, it is something that is tossed around by people who claim to be Black on the internet. Because we do understand that a lot of people who claim to be Black on the internet with Black emojis are not Black people. But that's a whole other topic of discussion, okay? But when they say Black men are bashing Black women, what are we really talking about? And I think that this was a series that came out on the OWN TV, Fix My Life, featuring, I'm going to say her name wrong, Iyanla Vanzant, okay? And the title of this video is something along the lines of why these Black men don't date Black women. Okay, so we're going to examine this, and we're going to listen to the things that these brothers are saying. Then we're going to see how they act and how they behave, and in conjunction to this Black woman and how she acts and behaves with them as a psychiatrist. So let's go ahead and get it.
Who are you?
Michelangelo.
Okay, nice to meet you.
I've been out with Black women or approached Black women, and before they even knew me, they said, how many kids you got? How many baby mamas you got? Dating outside my race, I haven't had no issues like that at all.
Okay, and you are?
Right, so he's basically saying that he feels that Black women stereotype him a lot, which may be valid on both sides. He don't like being stereotyped, and there are some Black women who aren't wrong in stereotyping certain Black men. But does he look like the stereotype? Not to me. But anyways, we're just going to continue on.
Poro. I've been practicing abstinence for 3 years. 3 years with no sex. I'm looking for someone that can respect my views on this, someone that can love me for me.
And you are?
I'm going to tell you right now, he going to have the hardest time of all of them. He going to have a hard time dealing with, and I'm going to tell you why, in my opinion. He's going to have a hard time because a lot of times women over-sexualize Black men. So if you are, and the communication language of a lot of women when it comes to dealing with Black men involve a lot of physical, kind of like primal attraction. So if your sexual prowess meter is like not configured, you're not calibrated in that regard, you're not trying to entice her sexually, she don't even want to have nothing to do with you. But we're gonna listen to what he say, because he's gonna break it down in further detail.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't date Black women now because of past experiences. They like to place that strong personality on you, and sometimes you just kind of like, stay in a woman's place.
so
Okay, so we've heard these three men and their reasons. They're going to give further details. But my question to you all at this point is, do you think that these men have bashed Black women? That's kind of where I'm looking at this situation. Are these men bashing Black women? And I think that a lot of women would say yes, that these men are bashing them. They're bashing them. What I'm trying to get us to do here is actually listen to the things that they say. And not only that, but listen to the things that this woman is going to say. Now, some of y'all can't do that. You can't do that the same way, and you'll see how Iyanla responds to this. She can't do it either. So if we can't listen to one another, what does that mean is going to happen? That means we're not going to progress. That means we're not going to deal with our issues because you're not willing to listen and I'm not willing to listen to you. So we just have no other choice but to go our separate ways, which is unacceptable. Let's continue on.
do you have any idea why you're here?
We share some of the same
opinions
About,
why are black women so angry.
was your mother angry?
To a certain degree, yes. She had that anger inside of her, but she made sure that she didn't pass it on to me. I see how she handles that, and she gives off that vibe that I get from women here. But when it came to me and how she approached me and taught me about women, she said, "Don't deal with this."
That's interesting because as a black mother,
Yeah.
my work was to help my son understand it so that he would know how to stand in it with a black woman.
Did y'all hear this madness? So this man says, why are black women so angry? Right? Why are black women so angry? He says, my mother taught me not to deal with women like this, even if they act like me and I'm angry. Yolanda says, well, I teach my son how to stand in it with the black woman, how to understand it and stand in it with her. Interesting. So you're teaching your son to stand in with a black woman through her anger. Okay. But we're just going to continue on.
Why are you here?
My situation is a little bit different because I traveled a lot when I was a kid, very talented, very gifted musically. So because of that, when I came back to my neighborhood and I was dealing with certain black women, you're different. You talk funny. You dress funny. The music you listen to is funny. I don't like being because I...
Right. So what he's saying is that these are the things that these women are saying about him. You're funny. You talk funny. You look funny. What's going on? He's saying, look, I've been around the world. Okay. I'm gifted musically. So now he got a whole different style and you can see it right here. And he's saying, listen, these women don't like that. Let me listen to him.
I had flip-flops on or I had a turtleneck. I'm gay.
Whoa. You see? And family, isn't this what's happening to this day? Isn't this what happens to this day? We've seen people stereotype certain types of black men as gay. A lot of women would look at what this man got on right now and say, oh, he's suspect. He's suspect. Because in the minds of a lot of black women, they already have a preconceived notion about what a black man supposed to look like, an American black man supposed to look like. And if he fits another bill, he must be gay. And then they're going to point you to some gay black men and say, look, this is how they are. They gay. You know what I'm saying? So he's explaining he tired of being stereotyped in a negative way. He want to get away from that. This is what he's basically explaining.
The problem I'm having is just because you're more my culture, you're black, you don't get a pass. All the women in my family, I got a side of cousins that made me feel weird about that.
How can anybody make you feel anything?
Now here, this is when Ilana kind of goes off on the deep end and she kind of shows her unreasonableness with her responses to him. She said, how can anybody make you feel anything? She's a psychologist, whatever the hell she is. She wasn't listening to him. I'm gonna go back and listen and play what he said because she's not listening. She's not listening. And I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. I sincerely believe that the majority of the time, half the time, at least half the time, women don't know how to listen to men. Women don't listen to men. Like when a man is explaining what he's feeling or what he's going through, what he's gone through, they're listening to respond, not to actually understand him. They're putting their response ahead of what this man is saying. They're not listening. And I'm gonna listen to what he says.
You're more my culture, you're black, you don't get a pass.
He's saying because you're a black woman, you're not going to get a pass for terrible behavior. That's what he's saying, right? And listen what he say next.
All the women in my family, I got a side of cousins that made me feel weird about that.
I've got a side of cousins that have made me feel weird about that. So what he's basically saying is that these people who are my cousins are trying to make me feel weird for holding black women to the same standard of other women, saying that, listen, you're not going to get a pass because you're a black woman. And they've tried to make me feel weird about that, right? In other words, they've told him some things that were kind of showing that, okay, we don't approve of you not giving black women a pass because they're black women. And then look at her response. How is it that I can understand that, but listen to her emotional response?
How can anybody make you feel anything? You get to choose how you feel.
Wrong. But we're just gonna play it. So if I cuss you out right now, right, and tell you you're wrong about everything that you're doing, Is it your fault that you feel some kind of way after if I cussed you out? You're in control of how you feel. That's a smooth one, boy. And that's a smooth lie she told, but let's continue on.
You know that when you're kids, it's a psychological imprint. What does that have to do with today? Now, with a black woman, I have this in my mind before I even talk to you. She's going to think I'm weird. And that bothered me a lot. When I
That's valid.
was in high school, I got bused from Ocean Hill, Brownsville to Flatbush. And they spit on me.
Look at her sarcasm. We're just going to, you can see from the very beginning where it's going to some place of sarcasm, but
Brownsville to Flatbush.
look at her expression.
Bust.
Just look.
I got bused.
Took me a lot.
When I went to junior high school,
Mhm.
I got bused from Ocean
Look,
Hill,
he's laughing at it too.
And they spit on me and called me a nigger. They spit on me. And I was 13. And these were adults, not the children. So my point is this: that don't have nothing to do with who I am today.
Fam.
What?
Very different situations, but basically not true. Your childhood does leave an imprint or a mark upon you, whether it be good, bad, or ugly. And yes, you're responsible for dealing with your traumas, your issues of your childhood. But what this man said was valid. And so the aspect of listening to a person is a part of communication involves acknowledging what this person has said. So if your response to someone communicating something to you, a traumatic experience, for example, to you, if your response is, you're wrong, this happened to me and none of that happened to me, you're not helping. And really, you're being defensive. You're being like kind of like shifty. You know what I'm saying? And it probably is because he's talking about, again, black women. And she probably fit into the category of women who also stereotype. And she was probably also stereotyping him, to be honest. Keep it a full buck. That's probably what was going on. And that's why when he spoke about this, her response was so emotional because she was doing the very thing that he was talking about. Bet.
What is your experience?
A lot of black women, they don't want to talk to me. Some of them don't want to talk to me. Some of them want to talk to me because, one, I'm a God-fearing man. I don't believe like now I'm practicing abstinence. I'm not having any sex whatsoever.
Why you ain't in the church?
I am in the church. I'm going to tell you about the church woman. If you don't have a collar, they don't want to talk to you. I'm going to be straight up.
What does
You know, a collar, they
do
don't
you
wanna
know
talk
what
to
the
you.
collar represents though?
I guess it's purity or, leadership or, I don't know, like
How
divine.
about power? How about power? That's what it represents.
Like, why do women have this idea that you can talk to a man like excuse my language, but like he's a freaking child? He is a grown man. And she's sitting up here talking to him like, look at her expression. Like, it represents power and nigga, you have none. So that's why they don't want you. Am I wrong? You don't have power. So despite the fact that you're a God-fearing man practicing abstinence, they don't want you because nigga, you ain't got no power. Little boy.
But let me tell you why I've called you.
But let me tell you,
I've invited you here because my intention is to dismantle the myth of the angry black woman. I believe it's a myth.
so we're gonna prove that what she just said is a complete lie. And I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. Kevin Samuel said this best, and I'm telling y'all this is the truth. What a lot of women will do is they will, instead of looking at the truth or the reality of a situation for what it is, they will try to make reality based on what they feel. They will try to create reality within their own mind and then project that onto the world. So it's like they're telling themselves lies and they don't even realize they're telling themselves lies. And then they project those lies into real life. Now, this is how I told you she's a liar. I don't have to say this. I'm just going to play back what she said 3 minutes ago to prove to you that she just lied. Because remember, she just said that I believe that angry black woman is a myth. It doesn't exist, and it is a myth. That's what you just said, right?
Don't deal with this. That's interesting because as a Black mother, my work was to.
Fam. The first conversation.
Why are Black women so angry? Was your mother angry? To a certain degree, yes. She had that anger inside of her, but she made sure that she didn't pass it on to me. I see how she handles that, and she gives off that vibe that I get from women here. But when it came to me and how she approached me and taught me about women, she said, don't deal with this. That's interesting because as a Black mother, my work was to help my son understand it so that he would know how to stand in it with a Black woman.
Did y'all hear that, fam? So she a liar because she just said, I teach my son how to stand in with an angry Black woman and stand in the fire with her anger. That Black man said, my mom was angry. He said, Black women are angry. Why are Black women so angry? Her next question, was your mother angry? Yeah, but she taught me not to deal with women like that. Oh, that's funny because I teach my son to stand in it with them so they can understand it.
I invited you here for a mixing tonight. As a Black woman. As a Black woman. Yeah, I believe it's
that. Why? You're supposed to have the answers. You're supposed to be the psychologist, but instead you're a liar. Okay, let's continue.
We're here for a mixing tonight, just to be with some women.
She probably a lesbian.
Women, all ages. We all have a story. We all have an experience.
She clearly a liar.
We all get to choose. Tonight you get to choose how you're going to experience these women.
And let's keep it 100 though, bro.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a demonstration.
The word of God say, in the abundance of words, there is what? Confusion, there is lies, there is evil. In the abundance of words. Some of y'all talk too damn much.
Because I know there are hundreds of thousands of Black men, all ages, who've had these experiences. And I believe, and it's my intention for us to heal. Hello, my.
Now, again, the problem that I had with a lot of what she said was that she was not really acknowledging the things that these men were saying. She was just trying to tell them that they're wrong. But we clearly saw that she doesn't even believe that these men are wrong because she admitted out of her own mouth that she tries to teach her son to deal with these things that she just said she believes is a myth. Interesting. But let's go to the mix in a little bit of that and see the way some of these men was interacting with Black and non-Black women. All right.
Hi. Hello. I'm like, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Approaching a Black woman is different from approaching a non-Black woman.
You look good. Thank you. Thank you.
When I approach Black women, they don't give me the time of day. Some just wave their hands like nothing ever happened.
Good. How are you?
Hello, Cora.
Vera.
How you doing?
Tonight, I will be observing the.
Bro. Oh my God, that hurt my soul, bro, to see the way she just, look at this, bro. He told y'all what they be doing to him. And look, just look at this, fam. I need y'all to understand. When a woman do this like they hurt. She got over 2.5 million followers. Oh my nigga, you just one of 2.5 million. That's why. She sized you up in 3 seconds, bro. She ain't dealing with you. Look at the way she looking at him. No. Listen to what he's saying.
Like nothing ever happened.
How are you?
Hello, Cora.
Vera.
How you doing?
Tonight, I will be observing the women of the Healing House interact with men.
But bruh is on them.
Very same issues that they came in with. These men have resentment and frustration toward the opposite sex.
My man is in between all three white girls.
What a surprise.
Surprise.
Surprise. Is that where you want to be?
What?
No,
I'm right here. It's over.
Okay.
When Lita first came to this house, she thought she was angry with the men who have disappointed her, but the truth is she was hurt, and she invited men into her life who would reinforce the hurt she was already feeling.
Now, here's the crazy thing about hurt people, and I heard it said very simply and very plain, very well. Hurt people hurt people. Okay. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay. People who need to heal need to get the counseling, the healing that they need before getting involved in relationships, because you will continue to hurt people. The way people hurt you is how you will hurt other people, and you will start looking for people to deal with for the wrong reasons. But let's continue on.
Now, as I'm watching the way she interacts with Mr. Coro, I can see that she still has not fully come to peace.
Oh, bruh, owner. Hey, I love body language, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, I feel like I'm damn near a body language expert, to be 100 with you. And you can tell right away when somebody's like interested. They always say you could tell when a woman is interested in a man because she'll come close. She feel comfortable touching you. Okay. And you can tell a man is interested because he gonna kind of push up a little bit too. But when a woman is pushing up, oh, bruh, 10 out of 10 times, she wants you closer, brother. She's close. That means she wants that. She approves of that message. Believe it. Hold, let me go back. You got, I want y'all to, this is worth observing. That one, that interaction right there. See, and you know what's crazy is Brud said he practiced abstinence, but you see how aggressive his ass is? And he own them though. And see, that's why y'all can't judge a book by its cover. You see this man right here on these women, introducing himself, boom, in they grill. What's happening? On them, strong. But she ain't having it. Look at the body language like, oh, nigga, no. And even her too, like, no, yeah. Not enough juice, brother. You ain't dripping. The swag ain't drip. You ain't dripping. That's the type of women that a lot of these women are. Good looking women, black women.
The women of the healing house.
Not all, but a lot.
Men who have the very same issues that they came in with. These men have resentment. Where you want to be? What?
I didn't like that smart ass comment, but all right.
When Lita first came to this house, she thought she was angry with the men who had disappointed her.
Angry.
The truth is, she was hurt, and she invited men into her life who would reinforce the hurt she was already feeling. Now, as I'm watching the way she
look,
interacts,
kind of touching them damn near.
I can see
he on them close.
Still has not fully come
yep,
with her.
That's a yes, bro. You might well get her and get up out of there. Like, you might as well. You've already found what you're looking for. This man is kind of a fool.
That I do not date black women because the reasons behind it are like stereotypical, and I don't like that.
I think black women.
I like her.
Beautiful. Are you bitter? To a certain extent, yes or no?
She seems like very reasonable, but strong, but reasonable.
Okay, so you're bitter.
He retarded.
Hello. Not for me, brother. I'm an other lover.
What do you like about the snow bunnies? Is it the beautiful eyes while they're like giving head, or what is it about?
Why do the white women like black men so much?
That's nasty as hell. I ain't gonna lie. I'd have to get my ass up. Like, I'm wasting my time with you nasty little. How many times you done did that with your little nasty ass? You could go on somewhere. White men probably didn't even want you.
It's black women make you just want to just date white women. Like, what are they doing that we aren't doing? I just want to know that.
When Miss Jamaica entered the house, she had an issue with her self-image. She believed she was, quote, too dark.
Yeah, you could tell she done probably lost a black man or two, or she done seen her friends lose some black men to like some white women or whatever other type of race of women. She seemed real hurt, bro. She seemed real hurt. And you know, that's sad, but at least she was sincere in saying, like, I want to know what is the problem with some black women, perhaps myself included, right? It's how she's thinking. And that's an energy that, although it is sad, you can kind of still work with that. And I hope that she learned from this situation, but we're going to see.
In her mind, she was competing with white women who date black men, when
right.
In reality, she was actually diminishing herself.
No. See, this is how, it's not a zero-sum game. It's not either or. It can be both. It could be, yes, you are competing with white, the same way that I, as a black man, realized that in 2021, I am competing with every race of men for black women. Okay. The same is true with black women. Black women, you are competing with every other race of women for black men. It's just the reality of the situation. And it's honestly, it's somewhat understandable because we are so far removed from our true root as a people that we are basically equally American as much as we are African, if that makes sense. If y'all understand what I'm saying, it's not like, oh, we come from this culture where we know our original language and we know our real culture. We don't know our culture. We're Americans. You know what I'm saying? So yes, we have like we don't come from that real strong identity as far as culture goes. So what I'm trying to say is, to a very large extent, yes, we are in competition with other groups of people for our own race of people. Now, it's convenient and it's very nice when there's a sense of loyalty, and I think that there should be, because it just makes things a lot easier. But at the same time, you would be stupid to think that a black man owes you anything. And the same thing would be true of me. I'll be stupid to think a black woman owes me anything. I need to come correct, and so do you. And she also may have issues of self-confidence. So it's not zero sum. It can be both.
But as I'm watching her discuss her truth, it's,
you know, they always trying to spice it up and put some drama on it.
to communicate
I don't like that.
Do you think since they so infatuated with y'all, do you think that you would treat a white woman better than you would treat a black woman?
I don't think you treat them better because they're white. I think you treat them better because of it's the submissiveness. With them, you're the man.
Wow. And they ended it right there. And I hope that those women that were in that circle listening to him looked at that and kind of understood what he was saying. Okay, so here's the question, fam. Were those black men bashing black women? Besides that one clown ass Negro, I would have to say, nah, I don't think any of them were really bashing black women. That one guy, he was totally unreasonable. He was dumb. And you're always going to have some people like that, like real immature. He looked like a little boy anyway. When you look into his eyes, you know what I'm saying? He had that little boy. He had that little boy look. Where is he at? This fool. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Mr. Unreasonable with that one sister. She shouldn't even wasted her time dealing with this clown. Where this fool at? I shouldn't call him a fool, but him.
I'm an other lover.
What do you like?
I'm other lover. Look at his eyes. You know, fam, come on. No. That's he's thinking like a little boy. And he gonna get the result that he asking for. Just know that. Just know that. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even have a reasonable conversation with this woman here. You know, even if you don't plan on dealing with her romantically or whatever, any type of way, you can still treat her with respect, treat her right. You know what I'm saying? Because she's having a discussion with you. Like, let's have a real discussion. The way that this brother over here in the end had a reasonable discussion with these sisters and was trying to get to some level of understanding.
You treat them better because of it's the submissiveness. With them, you're the man.
See? So that's what he's saying. So in my opinion, family, I think that these men didn't bash black women. But when they say black men are bashing black women, these are the types of men that we're talking about. And the point of the matter is this. These women, a lot of times the women who are saying that black men are bashing black women, what's really happening is their ears are turned off to listening to some of the things that are going on, some of the valid complaints. The same way this woman wasn't really listening to what these men had to say. She wasn't really listening to them. She was listening to respond. And that's how a lot of people choose to listen. Now, as a black man, right? If a time were to come, in which I believe is happening to a large extent now, when you look at certain YouTube channels, when you look at the content creator Beyond Black and White, who, you know, her channel's gone now, but there's a lot of other channels out there, Cynthia G, a lot of other channels out there that are just, you know, every time these black women bring up black men, it's in the context of negativity. It's always like a quote unquote bash, right? And you're starting to see a lot of this now. So when women like this come around, a lot of times I will ask myself, well, is some of this true? Like, are some of these things these women are saying true? Are they valid? I ask myself these questions. Okay, I don't just say, oh, these women are just bashing black men, woo-de-woo. Because if the cap don't fit, I'm not going to wear it. If it don't fit, I can't wear it. But if it do fit to some of the brothers and sisters or some of my brothers that's out there, okay, or other black men, more specifically, then it fits. And then that gives me work. It gives me work to do. It gives me perspective to look at and say, okay, look, I'm not stupid. I'm not ignorant. I'm competing with other people for Black women. So now let me listen to what Black women are saying so that I can, if those situations, if what they're saying is valid, if they're true, I can make the necessary adjustments, okay, to myself, my personality, my life, and really look at myself, because sometimes it takes somebody from the outside to call you on your mess, okay? Sometimes your best friends won't call you on your mess. Sometimes you will have a very difficult time calling yourself on your mess. Sometimes it takes someone on the outside. But if you are so emotional to people's criticism, regardless if it be constructive or not, then you will miss out on opportunity. Now, I'm not saying that you should subject yourself to people who are overly critical of you, but in a way, your enemies in that regard can become like friends. And when you can take the things that your enemies, people who clearly hate you or discriminate against you, when you could take the things that they say, improve those things wrong, or use portions of that hatred to motivate you, you're on the verge to greatness. That's what you have to understand. Even in the world of music, they say it all the time. Like, the hate from haters became motivation for musicians and different types of artists to become excellent in the things that they did. So listening to some of the things that these women say about Black men will motivate me to go even harder. And I'll be going so hard, y'all don't understand. But it motivates me to go even harder, so that when the time do come, what kind of love you think my wife gonna have? What kind of love you think my children gonna have? The things that I'm working to attain, the things that every Black man's working to attain, they deserve. You're gonna give that woman in your family, in your kingdom, the best of you, because you're not gonna be the stereotype. And that's the type of attitude I would hope that women would have when they listen to the things that these men are saying. But if you can't listen, then you can't get to that level at all ever. Because again, you're going to become like this woman here, and you're going to tell yourself lies and then go about believing those lies. Okay. So for an example, I'm going to say this and I'm out of here for real. When certain platforms that have Black women, they're talking critically about Black men, when all they do is highlight negative examples, when every example of a Black man that they want to talk about is a negative example, and you don't hear them say much good about Black men, you know that they have issues. They're not sincere. They're not sincere. Just point blank period. They're not sincere. Okay. 90% of Black men who are getting married, who will get married in 2021, are going to marry Black women. There's not this obsession with white women. There's not this obsession with bashing Black women. Are there some Black men who do it? Yes. We just saw that, right? But the majority of Black men are not on that time at all. Okay. So if I painted this picture that interracial relationships are the solution for Black men, that would make me a liar. That would make me insincere with my brothers in a real way, with what the majority of my brothers want. Okay. The preference is Black women. The opposite is true with Black women towards Black men. Okay. So these people who are insincere, really, they have work to do within themselves. And they're insincere when every time they're talking about a Black person, a Black man, it's negative. So in other words, they take the minority. They will take the minority of Black people and highlight and prop up these negative examples so as to move Black women's and Black men's attention away from one another and say, look, you need to divest, you need to go this way, you need to go that way. So while I'm here saying, listen, we need to listen so we can turn in and deal with this, even if this is a little bit, but in the end, we're going to rise together. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to try to have to figure out how this fits and how we can do this, right? But instead, you saying this, go this way. And this other woman saying, you women, go that way. And then this happens. So then what happens in the future? Where is the future? There is no future, because you're going this way and they're going that way. See? And in my opinion, I don't know about you, your ancestors, your family, your legacy, the people who preceded you, but my family, my foreparents, yeah, they deserve better out of that from me, and they're going to get better. You hear me? You hear me? I don't know if you hear me, though. You see, you got to feel it deep down in your soul. If you ain't got it deep down in your soul, then yeah, you might as well go ahead and go that way, because we don't need you no way. And your ancestors probably don't need you neither. Hey, I'm out of here for real though. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment below. I'd love to hear what y'all think on this particular topic of discussion. Remember, guys, if it's anything you get from this video, understand that a part of listening a part of having conversation with someone involve acknowledging the things that they say. It's not about you and being right. You need to acknowledge the things that people say, even if you disagree with it. And even if you're about to get on to your next point, it's still very proper. And it makes you appear much more genuine when you acknowledge the things that people say. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what you think. Till we chat again, it's Pimo aka Jadea, aka Mervin Urban Politics, and I'm checking out on y'all.